Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing the coffee book tag. I think that's the right title. We have no idea what we're doing around here apparently, so we're going to go with it. Anyways, this is a tag that was created here on BookTube, and I haven't seen a whole lot of people doing it. I recently found it when I was Googling, and then I saw the Reading Wordsmith do it, and I was like, got to do that tag. So definitely gonna enjoy getting into some of these questions. I really loved her answers, and so really excited to share mine. The first one says, Black Coffee, name a series that's tough to get into but has hardcore fans. I'm gonna go with One Piece. One Piece is the first thing that pops in my head. It's got 1,000 episodes if you're gonna watch it. And that is a lot of episodes to get into for anything at all. 1,000 is a lot. And that translates to 111 books for One Piece. Or, well, manga. That's a lot. A lot. And so that's super hard to get into. But I have seen that a lot of their fans are super hardcore fans. They love it. And I've watched 100 and something episodes. So, I mean, I'm making progress, but definitely don't know that I'll ever hit 1,000. And I don't know that I'll ever read 111 books. Or, well, 111 volumes of this book, of this series, story, whatever. You can tell we don't know what we're doing around here. The second one says, Peppermint Mocha. Name a book that gets more popular during the winter or festive time of year. I'm going to go with Holidays by Christina Lauren. This one is a Christmas romance. From what I remember, we're following this woman and her day just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating. And it's some sort of holiday romance. I don't know. I never read it. It was just really big on YouTube. And I don't like that trope of repeating days. So I never really paid any attention to it. But I definitely see it more often in the wintertime near Christmas because it's a Christmas romance book, so that makes sense. Hot Chocolate. What is your favorite children's book? I went with The Color Monster by Anna Lennox. I don't know. This one I read a lot with a lot of my clients, my young clients during COVID, because we were doing everything telehealth. And so we just had this book on my screen and I shared it and we just read through this book. And it teaches kids how to regulate their emotions and separate them out because emotions are pretty confusing. I loved it. The kids really loved it. It was a great time. Number 4 is Double Shot of Espresso. Name a book that kept you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. I went with Brother by Anaya Albo. I don't know. I'm terrible with names, especially if they're a little bit different. But so Brother is a horror thriller that I recently read. Oh my gosh, absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. There's not a whole lot of plot. So if you're going in it looking for a plot sort of thing, it's not it. But it has such good family dynamics. There is so much abuse and manipulation and scheming going on in this book. It is fantastic. I loved it. We're following this dude, Michael. And Michael lives with his family and they are so abusive, controlling, manipulative, all the things. And he meets this girl and she's talking about leaving and going to a bigger town and all these things. And for the first time ever, he starts thinking about those kinds of things. And he wants to go, but is also terrified of his family. And he knows that if he wants a future with this girl, then he's going to have to leave his family. Because if he brings her home, then they're going to want to kill her because they're serial killers. And that's just what they do. And it was peak entertainment. I loved it from the jump. From the first paragraph, I was hooked. And I read this so fast. I cannot share about it enough. This is my best book of the year. Super happy that I read it. This next one says Starbucks. Name a book you see everywhere. And I went with Bury Our Bones in the Midnight Soil by V.E. Schwab. This book is everywhere. Everywhere. Like, it is so popular right now. And unfortunately, it's one that I'm not really interested in reading. I've heard some mixed things about it. Most everyone loves it. But I've heard a couple of people who just don't really care for it as much. But I don't know. The way that it's been pitched to me by these YouTubers is not something that like I am dying to read. The blurb makes it a little bit more interesting when I looked at it on Amazon. Just a little. So Amazon basically has it in like 3 different sections. I guess we're following 3 different people from 3 different time frames. And one of them is Maria. And she's always been a prize or a pawn in the games played by men. And she's going to make a choice that's going to alter that. And she's vowing to live with no regrets. The second one is a young woman who lives in one of these fancy high society sort of families, and she makes some choices that gets her sent off. And I guess she's looking for freedom, and she's gonna have to like pay some sort of price for that, be it emotionally or morality wise. I guess that's not how you say that, but you get what I'm saying. And then we're following a third one who is in college, and she's again making choices and then trying to live her life. And I don't know, it sounds a little bit more interesting, but I still probably wouldn't read it. This next one is That Hipster Coffee Shop. Give a book by an indie author a shout out. So I don't know what's indie and what's not. So I Googled and I found a website that said something like Indie Next List October 2025. And I found 2 that actually sounded pretty interesting to me. The first one was The Book of Guilt by Catherine Chittigy. Butchered that. And then the second one was Overdue, a novel by Stephanie Perkins. So when I looked at the blurb for the Book of Guilt, this is all that I read. In an alternate world where nobody won World War II, 3 brothers are the only boys left in an orphanage whose dark secret is the reason for their existence and the key to their survival. That was all I read. And that sounds really interesting to me. I have no idea. I looked at the blurb on Amazon and it looks so different than what that said that I got really confused and thought I had the wrong book. But that is the quick synopsis of that one. And then Overdue reminds me a lot of After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This one is following this couple who have been dating forever. And then her sister gets engaged after 2 years. And so now our main couple is like, are we doing something wrong? And so they decide to take a break for a month and date other people and then come back and then get married or whatever. Well, according to the blurb, things go awry because she ends up really liking whoever she's dating instead. And now they don't feel like they should get married. I may not read it, but definitely sounds really interesting. Number 7 is Oops, I accidentally got decaf. Name a book you were expecting more from. This one was kind of hard because there was a couple, but I went with One of the Girls by Lucy Clark. This one, I think now that I've been reading more thrillers and I've been like jaw-dropping shocked by some of these secrets and how everything kind of plays out, that one was so lackluster. Like, I didn't like it even when I read it. And I read it when I was first starting to get into thrillers. And now that I've read more thrillers, it definitely isn't it for me. The secrets just weren't big enough. I also didn't enjoy like all the different characters. It's so many characters and it was hard to keep up with. I wanted so much more. The perfect blend. Name a book or series that was both bitter and sweet but ultimately satisfying. I went with 2 for this one. Room by Emma Donoghue and The Opposite of Butterfly Hunting by Ivana Lynch. Room was fantastic. I loved it so much. The story behind this one is we're following this little boy and we're in his perspective and he's 5. And all he's ever known is this room that he is in. This is his entire world. He doesn't even believe that there's a world outside of this room. And that's because him and his mom have been held captive his entire life. Like, she was held captive, like she was abducted and then impregnated by her abductor. And then that is the child. And so super, super heartbreaking listening to his story. And like, you know, this going in. And so like, as he's describing things, you kind of like understand And it's so interesting seeing how things were described by the 5-year-old. And then you get to see how him and mom kind of overcome a lot of their trauma and deal with everything that's happened to them. Fantastic. And then the opposite of butterfly hunting is Ivana Lynch's memoir discussing her struggles with her eating disorder and body image and confidence, and how she had to like work and work and work to get to the other side of the eating disorder. And even how it's not something that she's like cured from, it's just something that's easier to manage. And reading her story and the darkness of it is fantastic. And she goes in being like, I'm not going to give you all of like the details that would feed like an eating disorder. And she's like, I'm not going to romanticize and or sugarcoat anything. I'm just going to give it to you raw and like real. And I think she does a really nice job of that. And then the last one is An Irish Pub Song by the Rumjacks, a book that is misunderstood. And I went with The Devil Wears Prada for this one. And the reason why I went with this one is because it's going to be judged based on the movie. Like, it just is. The movie was well known. I don't even know that a lot of people even knew there was a book. I didn't know there was a book until I was like looking at movie to book movie adaptations. I didn't have a clue. And I loved the book for what it is. Like, it is pretty good as in itself. If you're comparing it to the movie, it doesn't stand a chance. There's no way that the book can hold up to Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep. No way. They're fantastic actresses. The movie was fantastic. So it's definitely getting compared to that, but it should definitely be seen in its own light. So that's the tag. Let's do the last question. So answer me this in the comments. What is a book that you've read that you feel has been misunderstood? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.